Alright guys, I have another boss strategy for you today. Once again, there will be no actual story spoilers in the video, just the spoiler of the fight itself, if that actually matters to you. And today we'll be tackling Lahmu, probably the fourth major story fight. I would highly recommend having a King Frost for this fight. He's really good. He has King Bufalo, which is one of the best moves in the game. AoE Ice attack that also lowers enemy defense by one stage. Ice Pleroma increases his ice attack damage a lot. And he also gets Matarakaji, which increases the attack of all allies by one stage. So all around, really good moves for just doing as much damage as possible with the entire party. I also have a Succumbus just for fire damage, because we're definitely going to want to have that a little bit later. I created her from a Quetzalcoatl and a Kelpie. Quetzalcoatl was able to pass the fire spells and fire Pleroma, so she does more damage with fire abilities for the next boss fight. And once again, my last demon here is Siren up again because Cautious Cheer is just that great for raising defense, accuracy, and evasion of all allies. Just a really good ability, and I'm still holding on to him for some of these tougher boss fights because of that. The final thing I recommend having is, of course, make sure that your demons can use item, make sure you got that glory thing, and have a decent supply of force shards. You can buy these at the shop. You can also use light shards. Those are also decent. And then fire gems. Gems are not buyable just yet at this point in the game, but if you've been stockpiling them or saving them for stuff, you should have a decent amount. Gems can actually be used off of the magic stat of the demon using them, so this can be very useful to have, especially for King Frost, who normally has really low affinity with fire-based abilities. And that's going to come in clutch a little bit later. This is a two-phase boss fight. He actually starts off the first phase by moving himself, which can be a little annoying. And outside, he always seems to start with Zyanga and then a Dark Attack, and then after that he likes to favor ice moves a lot, so I actually have two... I have my Nahabino and King Frost who both drain ice, and then Succumbus is immune to ice. So that gives me some good abilities to just nullify that completely, which is pretty nice. And essentially I instantly activate Magatsuchi here, Magatsuhi, just because I'm going to try to do as much damage as fast as possible to him to get rid of this phase. This phase, you got to kill all of his tentacles at the start. So I start off with just a force shard just to make sure I get the extra press turn there, because we want to get all 8 turns in this turn to do as much damage as we possibly can. I used Dona Magiki on King Frost here, so his next magic attack is actually going to do even more damage now. Because Succumbus is actually not going to be doing all that much in this phase of the fight, because he's not weak to fire just yet. I have Succumbus mostly for the next phase. So once again, I use another force shard just for the guaranteed AoE damage. You could probably use a physical move or just your own AoE magic move if you're building that. But I do not have any physical or AoE physical moves on Nahabino right now because I value everything else I have just a lot, because I have the crit up skill on him and some other really strong single target stuff. So as you saw there, King Frost just did a bunch of damage. I'm going to use a force shard with Succumbus here to get him close to the last little bit of his health here. He's still got a little bit. I take a brief look at Serenups just to see if there's anything useful there. Unfortunately not. I can't quite kill the tentacles yet, so I go ahead and heal Nahabino, because he's almost dead at this point. He does use Bufala, but unfortunately, the one person he targets the one person who's not immune to ice, so I got a little unlucky on that turn. So that's a little unfortunate. I gotta be a little more cautious of my health now for the next part of the fight, so I'm just gonna play it a little safe, make sure I can enter the next fight with full HP. I go ahead and kill the tentacles with King Bufala here. And that's going to leave this part of the fight where it's only his head left, who has very low HP. Should go down pretty quickly. Gonna go ahead and pass so I can get some healing off. I need to heal Sirenup. Sirenup's not doing much in this phase. He's mostly here for the next phase, just to make sure I can get the buffs off and everything. I go ahead and heal Nahabino with just a life stone, so he has enough to survive any attack, no matter what. I use a very quick ice shard just to get rid of the rest of his tentacles there, and that's going to start the next phase of the fight. He uses Zyanga this turn, and then Mudo again. They get really low on health this turn. I don't think he really starts favoring ice moves until the next phase of the fight. He seems to alternate electric, dark, and ice in this phase, so if you want to have some different immunities because of that, feel free to. That can work out just fine. Go ahead and just use a normal Bufala on this phase, because I forget that he's immune to ice in this phase. But Oh well. And he's also immune to resistant to fire in this phase. I couldn't remember exactly what he was resistant to or not. But I need to heal anyway, so not really a huge deal. Because he's going to start off the next turn with an ice attack, so... As long as he doesn't target Siren up again, I'll be okay. And he doesn't. He gives Nahavino a full heal. Pretty nice of him to do that. Go ahead and Argamasa the main body again. And now he's going to die in one more King Frost attack. But I want to get healing off on Siren before the next phase, so I'm going to pass to make sure we can do that. And then I'll finish him off. So everyone's close to full health at this point. I use a quick Life Stone just to get Succumbus back to full HP, just to be safe. I'm going to use a stone here just for the sake of making sure I can kill it and not risk the light damage not doing enough damage. Of course, Jim finishes him off. But the fight is not over yet. There's another phase. And since I'm not interested in spoilers, I'm going to instantly skip to the next phase here of this fight. Now he's just a single enemy, and with the current turn order I have, with Succumbus moving third and Nahavino moving first, I can make sure I get all my buffs off by just playing a little safe. I can get some extra chip damage in with using shards here, but I decided against it since it's really early on in the fight, and I want to save those just in case. I can use Matar Kaja with King Frost to buff everyone's attack. This is a really good way to start the fight. Succumbus can give us an extra press turn, guaranteed with Agaleo, so no reason not to use that. And then I can use Cautious Cheer with Sirenup, and then I can do basically the exact same thing I just did to get my attack buffed up twice, and my defense and evasion and accuracy all buffed up twice as well, which is the maximum. So we're going to be fully ready to go the turn after this. I've still got a little bit of ways to go before my Magatsuhi gauge is charged up fully, so I'm going to have to do some extra preparation the next couple of turns. Not really a huge deal, though. This move's annoying. That lowers accuracy and evasion a bit. That's another reason I wanted to do that. It's also a pretty powerful Almighty attack. That's the reason we wanted the defense up as soon as possible. This was the worst thing he could have done here, unfortunately, the confusion here. I gotta waste some time healing the confuse instead of healing my party. Fortunately, I get lucky, and I don't get screwed by the confuse on the first Nahavino there, so I'm able to cure confuse of Succumbus. So I can save curing confusion on Nahavino for a little bit later in the turn order. I use King Bufalo to lower his defense. It probably would have been safer to heal, but I just decided to do that. I use Agaleo to get an extra press turn. And then I cure Nahavino of his confused status. Now at this point I'm probably thinking about what to do. I believe I ended up using an item to heal at this point. Probably chose a bead, and I think I used it on Succumbus because I think Succumbus mattered more for this fight. Actually, I used an Ice Dampener. No, I don't. Okay. I was thinking about an Ice Dampener, but I was like, nah, only Sirenup's in range of dying since the other three are immune. So this is the turn I spent the most time thinking about, so I know it'll be a little bit long here. Yeah, I think I just ended up using a bead on Succumbus just to make sure she survived no matter what happened. Now, he does favor ice moves a lot, so like I said, I think he's going to use an ice move next turn anyway, so it's not going to end up mattering. I'm really taking a long time to decide on this, sorry. Oh, I actually end up using a fire gem because I'm like, I can heal with King Frost. I guess that makes sense. Just get a little bit of extra chip damage in. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because that gives me an extra turn, so I might as well just use it. Alright. And he does use a nice move here, and he targets Nahavino and gives me a nice heal. Very, very helpful of him to do that. So we're looking in a much better situation at this point. The buffs are about to expire, so I need to make sure I do that this turn. Actually, looks like I just go in for a lot of damage here. I activated the critical thing. I used Pierce Armor here as the first bonus to lower his defense to the minimum, while we still have our maximum attack. That actually does make a lot of sense. And then I'm going to use Fire Gem with King Frost, so he does as much fire damage as possible. 353 there. Pretty strong. Actually does more than Succumbus, but Succumbus is a medium fire attack, while King Frost was a heavy attack. Right now, it looks like I'm thinking about what to do. I go ahead and use Gas Fire Rain to get the fire damage from Sirenup. I use Beatdown here since I'm full health, 415 damage with a critical. Another Fire Gem with King Frost. And just to get as much damage as possible, I think I actually use a Fire Gem with Succumba since it's a heavy attack. So I know it'll do more damage here. And I still have 4 left, so I'm still fine on those. 461, pretty big total. So he's now in the red health range, so I'm pretty much just safe at this point. I don't really worry. I don't really care about reapplying my buffs because I can just finish him off really quickly at this point. So I go ahead and swap to Hardy, just in the interest of safety, since Hardy can survive and also has a fire attack herself. So I should be able to easily end this fight next turn. He uses another ice move, attacks one of the people immune to it. Not too bad at all. I use Beatdown for the extra damage. I just pass the turn just in case I need it for anything else. I go back to using Agaleo. And Hardy is going to either finish it off or get us in a position to finish it off right now. Looks like I'm going to be able to finish it off in a stylish way again. Oh, I just go for Beatdown. I don't know why I didn't go for the really funny Almighty move, but that's my fault. So yeah, this fight is not too bad. It's really just making sure you have enough AoE for the first phase and strong fire moves for the second phase, and having some resistance to some of his strong moves to make sure you get good turn order priority. I think that's going to cover it, so look forward to the next one. Subscribe if you want to, all that kind of good stuff, and have a wonderful and blessed day. I'll see you back here soon.